Hi guys, today we will learn how to work with path parameters. First of all, let's talk about difference between path parameters and query parameters. We will be using them very often when working with REST APIs, and we already used path parameters in our tests. Path parameters are used to identify specific resource, but query parameter is used to sort or filter those resources. In our test, path parameter is the number of the booking in the getBooking request, and query parameter are filters that we can use in the getBooking IDs request. So let's try and work with path parameters in our getBooking test. So our test class extends base test, where we created and assigned the value of the request specification. Now let's use this request specification for the path parameters. So let's set path parameters inside of the request specification. So let's add a comment, set path parameter. And let's use our spec dot path parameter, and here we need to add name and value. So let's name it booking ID. And for the parameter value, so we have 5 here, so let's set it to 5 and semicolon. Now, to use it, let's copy our variable name, and here instead of 5, inside of the curly brackets, let's paste the name of our variable. So now, instead of specifying path parameter inside of the URL, we use request specification for that. And in this simple test, it wasn't actually needed. It doesn't improve this test, it just adds extra line of code. But in future, when you will work on your applications, you may find this very helpful. Now let's just save and run this test to make sure it's still working. So, run as test-ng test. Test fail. First name in response is not expected. Well, looks like someone is just messing with... Yeah. Someone changed the booking number 5. That's why we are getting incorrect results. But let's fix it. So in future, when we run this test, we always know what to expect. Let's go to our update test. And let's copy this create booking part and this get booking ID part. So let's copy. Let's add it here. Ctrl-Shift-F to format our code. And now we have our booking ID, integer booking ID. So instead of using number 5, let's actually use this booking ID, value of our recently created booking. Let's save and let's change our verifications to what's gonna be actual results. So first name is Dmitry, last name is Shishkin. $150 false, and the dates. Total price 150. Deposit paid assert false. Should be false. Check-in date is gonna be this date. Checkout date is gonna be this date, and special needs baby crib. Okay, so now every time we run this test, it will work. unless we run into really small chance when, as you remember, RESTful Booker resets every 10 minutes. So there is a chance that we can create this booking right at the end of those 10 minutes mark, and then when we try to get this booking, application already reset. But this is much smaller chance that actually having someone else change the default booking. So now when we run this test, it should work. Get booking test, run as. Yep, this time test works. So now in future, it's gonna be much less often when this test will fail because of the public API. And we can actually make it even nicer probably. So instead of creating this variable that we are using just only one time here, we can just cut this code and paste it here and remove these few lines of code and save. So now when we set pet parameter, we are directly going to our response create and getting our booking ID from there. So now less lines of code.